Hey everybody, welcome back to Tim Travels. It's Terry, your host. Still here at the global corporate headquarters of Prime Incorporated. Here in the office that I share with Robert Lowe when I'm not on the road. So he and I share an office. He's not in today. I don't know what he's doing. He might be golfing or something. But the guy works a lot of hours, so I give him props. Okay, so as promised, I went through 26 weeks of statements for the lease truck that I'm driving. And what I did is I put all the numbers down here on this Kenworth Mid-Atlantic notepad that I stole from Kenworth Mid-Atlantic. Even though I didn't really buy anything. I brought something back, but I still asked for a pad. So it's just one of the ways that I add value to my business. I get free paper. So anyway, so what I'm going to do is go through these numbers week by week, and then I'm going to give you like 4-week averages. Now it's not a rolling average, because I'm, if you've watched any of my videos, like math's not my strong suit. But I'm going to kind of go through these and just kind of show you the ebb and flow. Now, here's an important piece of information. I actually thought I would be negative on today's paycheck or today's disbursement. Not only was it not negative, but it actually ended up being quite a bit. So, so I'm grateful for that, and also I'm going to break out like when I was team, when I was solo. Like in other words, when I had a trainee on the truck. So, let me go through these real quickly. The first week, $1199.62. And by the way, these numbers that I'm going to give you are net to the business. So these aren't gross numbers. I can share the gross number with you. The truck is grossed $100,988 in 26 weeks. That's the truck's gross. So that'll give you an idea of what the truck is earned, and then you'll see what the company is capped based on the lease contract. So the first week, $11.99.62. Week 2, $49.18.98. Week 3, $1,077.17. Week 4, $1,056.22. That total for those 4 weeks is $8,251.99, or an average of $2,062.99 a week. Week 5, $1,807.83. Week 6, $59.65. Week 7, $45.33.17. Week 8, $14.28.36. The aggregate for those 4 weeks was $78.29.01, with a weekly average of $19.57.25. Week 9, I actually did a video about week 9, $1.31. Week 10, $22.83.51. Week 11, $9.63.46. Week 12, $28.88.49. So the aggregate for those 4 weeks was $61.36.77. Weekly average was $15.34.19. That is not a bad weekly average when basically 1 out of the 4 weeks was 0, but not negative. So week 13, $1,006.93. Week 14, $28.57.37. Week 15, $115.61. Week 16, $12.53 and 2 cents. That aggregated to 5232.93 with a weekly average of 1308.23. Again, 1 week in there, actually two, but 1 week was definitely not great. It was $115. So let's go on. Week 17, 1543.49 and 49 cents. Week 18, $404.77. Week 19, and this is a week that I started with my first trainee, Gabe. So I was team that week. 29.14 and 22 cents. Week 20 was $4,689.70. That's a 4-week average of 95.55 and 18 cents. Not a 4-week average, 4-week aggregate. If I said average, I was wrong. The weekly average for that 4-week period, 23.88 and 79 cents. Week 21, 31.68 and 86 cents. But I went back solo because Gabe got off my truck. He was only on for a couple of weeks, as you'll recall. Week 22, 7.83 and 15 cents. And then I went back team because then I got Connie on my truck. Then I went at week 23, 21, 24 and 13 cents. Week 24, 1,600 even and 97 cents. So that 4-week period, so weeks 21 through 24, $7,677.11, weekly average $19.19 and 27 cents. Then the last 2 weeks where I actually kind of went back solo, 29.61 and 73 cents on week 25, and this week 24.61 and 17 cents. That makes me very pleased because basically during that time I was home for 10 days. So some stuff is starting to catch up with me, detention pay and some other stuff that I was owed. And by the way, in a previous video I talked about having a charge for OS&D, like I was responsible for some product getting damaged. But I actually got a refund because I guess they resold the product. And so originally it was going to be $1,667, but I think I got back about $450. It just took a few weeks. So that wasn't as brutal as it could have been. So for the last 2 weeks, $5,420.90, weekly average $27.11 and 45 cents. Now, you know, that's the number of weeks I got. But so the total aggregate over 26 weeks, so the first 26 weeks at Prime, we're looking at $50,105 and 89 cents. That's net to the company. That averages out to $1,927.14. Now, some people may say, well, that's like you're going to aggregate to somewhere, probably, given what we've seen, we're probably going to aggregate to somewhere a little bit north of $100,000 in net revenue to the company. And of course, then, there's taxes, there's frictional costs at the company level. And, there are people who are like, oh, I could make that, driving company. And that's probably true. Although I will tell you that a lot of company jobs are exactly like this. In other words, they're not post-tax numbers, right? They're 1099 jobs that really should be W-2 jobs. But that's one thing. But the other thing I want to show you is, and I'm going to do a screenshot here. I have a 100-week lease, exactly 100 weeks on this lease. I've completed 26, so that means I have 74 weeks left. I'm going to buy a truck at the end of that, but I am going to wait this lease out because every week that passes, even though it's not showing up in the money that's coming in, I'm accruing additional money. There's holdback for tire fund and lease completion. There's the performance bond that I've talked about before. So take a look. These are the numbers. This is right off the Prime app. You can see what money is, quote, kind of in the bank. In addition, so you saw the lease completion bonus and you saw the tire fund. In addition to the tire fund, there's $1,495.91 from the prior tire fund that I got when I took over this lease. Now, it used to be significantly more, but I've had to buy 3 tires. I bought 2 brand new steers, and I had them put on last time I was out here, so maybe like 3 weeks ago. And then I also bought a drive tire that was used, but I wanted to have the same tread depth as the other 3. So I have bought some tires, and like I said, I have new steers on there. At some point, I'll probably have to replace all the drives, but I'll have the money to do that already sitting there. And like I said, I got almost $1,500 still in the prior tire fund. And the tire fund that you saw on the clip there is what I'm building up over time. So all in all, I don't think, this, I'd always love to make more, but I don't think this is a bad outcome given that, I'm just starting with Prime. And also, I think you can see that there is some money to be made in doing training, doing TNT. It's not great, but but I kind of look at it like, and I was talking to somebody last night on the phone about this, I kind of look at it like, if I'm going to be out for 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, whatever it is, I might as well make as much as I can, because now I feel like I'm in a position where I can take a lot more time off than I ever have since I started in the trucking business. So that makes my wife happy, makes my family happy. So it makes me happy, of course. So anyway, I hope you found this useful. Your results may vary. But by the way, let me just say this real quick. There's news out about these things, but there are changes coming in February. If you have been considering coming into the trucking industry, whether it's at Prime or anybody else, and you don't have a CDL, you probably would be happier if you applied right now and got your CDL out of the way before February, because in February a new set of rules takes over from the federal government for trainees, for people going through a CDL course. The CDL courses are going to be much more detailed, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I think that's great, but it's going to drive up the cost of getting a CDL. And even for people that go through a company program like I went through at night, or lots of people go through a Prime, big companies have their own programs. That's going to mean that they're going to value, because of all the extra work that has to go into it, they're going to value these training programs at a higher number. So I don't know if that's going to translate into expecting more of a commitment than they already do, or how they're going to handle that. I don't have a good answer on that, but suffice to say that the cost of training is going to go up. So if you're thinking about, as I mentioned in a previous video, diving off that bridge or jumping off that bridge, you might want to jump before February, because I think probably as long as you start school by the end of January that you would be kind of grandfathered in. But I'm gonna get some more information on that. I'll do like a little show about that. And this is not to sell anybody on doing something they're not ready for. Because like I said, on the worst case scenario is you get a bunch more training and you might have a little more cost, but it'll be I think it'll be worth it. But there's going to be some growing pains whenever a new rule goes into effect. So anyway, I just share that with you. Stay safe out there. We're going to be getting on the road tonight around 2100, and we got a load we're picking up in just down the road here in Missouri, but it's going out to I think it's Tualatin, Oregon, so right outside of Portland. So we'll be rolling up some miles here over the weekend. So thanks for tuning in. Stay safe, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.